people have known him as Tyrus for a long time. This is the tall Fox News host with the loud laugh, quick wit, and obvious presence. But recently, she made an unexpected public showing that made her fans go crazy. Tyrus was seen going out with a woman who many people didn't even think was his wife. And there was shock right away. What is her name? Where did she come from? And why? Why does their story seem so different from what people thought it would be? Keep listening to find out. He was born in Boston on February 21, 1973, and is better known by his stage name, Tyrus. Before you can understand who he became, you have to know what he came into. Both of his parents were still young. His mom was only 15 years old. He was 19 years old. And the house they made was based on fear rather than safety. It was violent. A normal part of life. It didn't take long for Tyrus to be abused by his father after being abused by his mother. One hit was so hard that it made his eye swell up for good. At that point, his mother could no longer cross that line. It was the last straw that made her decide to leave. Those first few years were hard and dangerous. Tyrus was the oldest child of a mixed-race couple who were married at the time. There was constant fighting, and one time it got so bad that his father tried to throw him out of a high-rise window. Leaving that place didn't mean they were safe, though. People told his mother she could stay at her family home, but her boys could not because their father was black. Tyrus and his brother were then put in foster care. That breakup hurt a lot. As a child, Tyrus was sure that the only way back was to change the color of his skin. Home. He couldn't get rid of the pain of that thought. In the end, the boys were able to find their mother in Los Angeles. She worked non-stop, up to 80 hours a week, and did anything she could to stay alive. That meant they were always on the move and never stayed put for long enough to feel at ease. It was always stable and never grew. Then another violent person came into his life. Tyrus was only 13 years old when his dad attacked him and knocked out his front teeth. He had had enough by the time he was 16. His last fight was successful, and he then put his things in a trash bag and left for good. He went back and forth between friends, teachers, and any safe place he could find. He even hid in the school locker room to sleep some nights. He didn't ask for help. He just kept going. Football was the only thing that never changed. It helped him stay put. The field helped him stay on track when nothing else did. He learned how to be disciplined and felt like he belonged. He had something to work toward and a role in something bigger than himself. There was nothing given on the field. You had to work for everything. His life changed after that lesson. Football did more than just give him a future. It let him get away. It gave him a goal. It gave him a reason to stay alive in the middle of all the chaos. Murdoch went to Antelope Valley College in California after high school. He was impossible to miss on the field. As an offensive tackle, he was the best in his conference and quickly became known for his size and rough style of play. The teachers at the University of Nebraska at Kearney noticed him and asked him to come play spring ball with them. He wasn't sure about a Division II school at first. It didn't sound very exciting, but as soon as he got there, that worry went away quickly. He had seen better facilities at bigger schools, and these ones were just as good. The atmosphere also felt right. He made one of the most important decisions of his life out of something that was only supposed to be a backup plan. Murdoch worked with them for 2 years. Lopers, who held up a huge offensive line with players weighing an average of over 300 pounds each. The 1994 team went 83-83, and he will always remember the hard-fought 13-12 win over Nebraska Omaha. Still, the relationships were more important than the wins. Coaches like Scott Hoffman, Darrell Morris, and Claire Iyer-Boroff became real guides. They taught him how to be responsible, follow rules, and keep his word. He felt like he was being for the first time shaped, not just taught. He went after the dream after college. He tried out for the NFL, played indoor football, and went as far as he could. Besides that, he made sure to finish what he started in school. He got his degree in physical education from UNK in 1998. He wasn't proud enough to ask for help, even though he couldn't afford to go to his own graduation. Help was right there for him. When the wounds healed, Murdoch put football out of business and went into survival mode. He filled in as a substitute teacher during the day and worked as a bouncer at night. He even worked as a bodyguard for Snoop Dogg at one time. Then something strange took place. He turned stopping a fight in a club into something that was almost like a play by calming down two guys at once and making jokes about it. A pro wrestler in the room saw it and left right away. Recognized the chance. That event made Murdoch want to become a professional wrestler. His first match in WWE was in 2006 as Bruce Clay. He changed his name to Tyrus when he went to Impact Wrestling in 2014. This name would define the next part of his career. After that, his life took a sudden turn toward the media. He started joking around online with Greg Goodfeld, which led to an offer to Fox News. Soon after, he was a regular guest on Goodfeld by 2016. He was a good fit because he was funny, always there, and had an interesting life story. He was even a co-host on UNPC from 2018 to 2019. Things finally seemed to be getting better, but then the story took a sudden and rough turn. In April 2019, people who watched Fox Nation's UNPC noticed something strange. After a short time, Tyrus quietly left the show without saying anything. There was no goodbye or explanation on live. Along with Britt McHenry, Tom Shilowy stepped in. And for a moment, the network's silence made it look like there was a normal change in the show. It wasn't quiet for long, though. By June, news stories from the Daily Beast were starting to fill in the gaps. The news source said that Tyrus was fired after McHenry herself made a formal complaint. As he went on to lead his own show, Nuff said that details of what he said had been going on behind the scenes slowly started to come out. Sources said that the two co-hosts had a personal argument. 1. It was so bad that Fox News decided to keep them apart instead of talking about it in public. As usual, the network wouldn't say anything about internal issues. Things didn't end there, though. Soon, McHenry took the problem beyond internal channels. It was public in June 2019 that she sued Fox News. It was about 4 months before the filing that sources first told the Daily Beast that Tyrus had sent her unwanted text messages with comments while they were working together. McKinney said that the texts were not the only issue. She said that after she turned down his approaches, things at work quickly turned hostile. She said the behavior started soon after they started co-hosting NPC and got worse over time. The lawsuit talked about a pattern of texts that were sent from October to December 2018. According to McHenry, the text message got more rude and explicit, with threats to send graphic pictures. She also said that the behavior continued at work, making what she called a volatile and unpredictable atmosphere. As shown in court papers, the person had big mood swings, angry outbursts, and kept sending inappropriate messages. McHenry said that the messages' tones changed quickly, going from friendly to hostile in just a few days. Following a dinner for work-related reasons, she said Tyrus got very drunk and acted aggressively and sexually toward her. Even though the accusations were very serious, Fox News hired 2 outside law companies to look into it. The network said that neither probe supported McHenry's claims. Even though things changed, she and Tyrus both kept their jobs at Fox Nation. Tyrus was taken off of NPC and given his own interview-based show, which took him away from Fox News studios a lot. McHenry was given a new co-host. Fox News finally put out an official statement. The network said it couldn't talk about staff issues, but it stressed that strict rules were being followed, independent. After investigators were called in, the problem was thought to be fixed. McHenry pushed back in public. Soon after the news came out, she wrote on social media that she had proof to back up what she was saying. The post was taken down later. Not long after the Daily Beast wrote about the claims in Tyrus's firing from NPC, he showed up on Fox News again. He went on the Daily Briefing with Dana Perino and talked about criminal justice change and giving former offenders second chances. Prisoners. Even though the show stayed on topic, his statements about second chances and redemption hit home for some viewers. At the end of their show, they said some nice things about each other and the charity work they did together. Behind the scenes, the fight kept getting worse. On October, McHenry put in a secret report against both Tyrus and Fox News with the New York State Division of Human Rights. In response, the network stood strong behind it. They said that the case was a repetition of claims they had already looked into. Fox News made it clear that it thought the case would be thrown out and was sure that the court would agree with its actions. The network said again that it had taken the claims seriously and depended on reviews by outside lawyers. The case, on the other hand, called that story into question. McHenry said that Fox News's public statements that they would not tolerate any kind of abuse were not true. She said that after raising issues several times, they were shut out of events, refused chances, and told they couldn't be on Fox News Channel shows. The suit says that the only person who was treated badly was the woman who spoke up. There were also doubts about the investigation's honesty in the court documents. McHenry said that detectives were mad at her because she wouldn't show them some text messages. The case said the messages were fake and used fake pictures to back them up. She said those pictures were not of her and came from different online sites. Kennedy officially sued Fox News in federal court in Manhattan in December 2019. The lawsuit named the network, as well as top officials and George Murdoch, who is better known as Tyrus. She said the consequences were terrible, saying that her career was ruined, her image was hurt, and she had a lot fewer professional opportunities. McHenry said she was sent to the streaming service, but she said her former co-host got his own show as a prize. Every accusation was strongly rejected by Murdoch's lawyers. Tyrus's lawyer said that he was going to strongly defend himself and said that the media was running a smear campaign, which could lead to defamation claims. Fox News agreed with that defense and said again that the claims had already been looked over by the New York State Division of Human Rights and were fully examined. The network said it thought the whole case would be thrown out. Another worrisome turn came in the case when McHenry said that even the investigation was messed up. She said that a detective talked about her looks in a rude way and said she had lied to Murdoch. Also, Murdoch's lawyer denied those charges, saying that his client was open to a public court case to clear his name. There was no more court case in July 2021. The case between Fox News and McHenry was settled. Even though the terms weren't made public, the network said it was still sure it would have won, but they decided to settle the case without going to court again. Murdoch's lawyer stressed that the claims were thrown out without prejudice and that Tyrus did not pay anything, repeating that he was not guilty of any of the charges. In her own statement, McHenry said she was proud to have fought for herself and hoped that what she did would give other people strength. Even though she said her claims were true, she said she was ready to move on. News sources say that McHenry had to leave Fox News and Fox Nation because of the deal. Still, she wasn't seen on TV. She kept her job as an analyst at Fox 5 in Washington, D.C., though. And while the court drama slowly faded from the news, something else was going on behind the scenes. Tyrus married his longtime lover, Ingrid Rink-Herbert, in secret in January 2024. He's always talked about being disciplined and fit, but people who know him well say that Ingrid has always been his real center. Their story didn't begin a lot of noise. It started in the fall of 2014, on the busy streets of New Jersey at an ordinary time. There was no rush or attention, it was just a few relaxed coffee dates that turned into something solid and lasting over time. From a small beginning, their relationship grew into a strong one that lasted for 10 years. As the years went by, their lives became so similar that their family and friends often thought they were married. The couple rarely told anyone what was wrong, choosing